Yo ho ho. That's right, we're back. It's Soul King Crazzmatazz. Finally wrapped up the starter pack. The straw hats are done. Now we're starting to branch out a little bit more into the roster that really needs more exploration. See if we can get a little more value. Today we're going to take a look at Sabo. That's right. So Sabo has always kind of suffered in terms of finding a good moveset, a good amount of damage. Because as a speed character, the one thing he suffers from the most is just a low amount of damage in general. So for your skill set, I used to run Fire Pillar as one of your specials. I'm going to recommend against that as of 2023. I'm making this video. There was a patch a few months ago, around the time when the Onigashima Rooftop DLC came out. They did a lot of patches to Sabo's moveset, including, for some reason, they removed the crowd control on Fire Pillar, so I actually don't really recommend using it anymore. Unless you're used to the timing on it. Some people have gotten used to the timing of the new move, but it's also an unintentional bug on it. So we'll start right from the top. Dragon Claw Fist, Dragon's Wrath. This attack might be Sabo's most important attack. It can be used in the air. It's fast. It keeps people juggled. It does an incredible amount of damage on the final hit. Just very, very handy for securing a kill in a pinch. Same for burning Claw Dragon King. This attack, we'll just call it Dragon King. This move is also very essential. However, what I would recommend is you swap out Pillar for Dragon Breath. Since, really, like I was saying earlier, the name of the game for him is just going to be getting more damage on him. Now let me find Wrath again. I'll briefly go over his other moves though. Creeping Flame Dragon, I used to run this a lot, just because it looks cool. But the damage, and I would even say the range on it, is very weak. Not a good option. He already is a speed type, so you're not going to need to really worry about dashing. He already has a dash attack as part of his base moveset. It's not very good, it just looks cool. Fire Pillar is very comboable, does some solid damage, and it comes out fast. But the only problem with it is that it is a little bit weaker now, in my opinion. It's not quite up to speed with a move like Dragon Breath. Fire Fist comes out too slow, and the damage on it is not good enough to really warrant a spot on the build. Fire Gun, same deal. Useful in the air, but the damage is so low that it's basically non-existent. And those are really your only options for him. I'll just put it right out there. If you didn't have a Logia fruit on this character, Part Warriors 4 Sabo is really bad. His moveset is just atrocious. You're gonna see me using as far as his differences from Part Warriors 3, he used to have this mechanic where you could like teleport to an area that you would mark on the battlefield with fire. You could just teleport to it from a certain range, but it was a long range, and you could do some goofy shenanigans like lining up your shots from a different angle at a rapid speed. I really miss that mechanic, not gonna lie. He could use it. He could definitely use it. Anyway, I digress. I used to run this combo of his a lot, but you're really going to be using his C3, C4, his C7, and 8 the most. As far as on the ground, I would recommend really just sticking with the C8 and his C3. Everything else is kind of style or preference. Most of his attacks are going to come out too slow without being in your Logia state though, so what you're really going to want to do with Sabo is absolutely spam his air game. His air game is actually really decent. And we're going to go over all of this. So, let's just start with his light string. Light string is pretty solid for knocking a bunch of people apart in case you start to get overwhelmed, but it comes out too slow, so if you're being overwhelmed, it might actually be a better idea to use something else, frankly. I don't love it. Light heavy is this little ring of fire. As you see, it's not doing a lot of damage, but it looks cool. And if you can stack enough of them fast enough, then it actually does some pretty solid like area damage. And it's also really useful to spam a bunch of those while you like wind up a form change or an ult maybe. Like let's use Dragon Breath for instance. With all these fire circles around you, it actually maintains the damage while you're winding up these really slow attacks. So that's what I like to use that for, especially when you're near form burst. And it can come out much faster in your form burst, by the way. And you can just case the battlefield in fire for a nice ult. Keep someone juggled so that they don't run away on you. But it won't even really guarantee that they won't run away on you, to be honest. It's just going to guarantee that they take a little bit of extra damage while you're winding up an attack. Alright. 1, 2, heavy. Okay, you know what? We gotta get Law out of here. Dragon Breath, by the way, really good for securing a kill as well, because it'll keep targets freeze framed, like I just did. Alright, so light, heavy. Now what you'll notice, this attack, if you spam it, it's going to knock targets around. And you can also control it. This is the good part about it. You can use a directional input to control it. Make it go crazy directions. Go behind you. And at the end of it, that last hit will knock targets up. You can also do a bit of a delayed input on it. So if you want it to end early, just delay input it. If you want to cancel out of it, you better believe you can cancel out of it, but it's kind of a waste attack if you do. It just completely negates it. Light, heavy. Pretty solid range on this attack. Really good option for dealing damage to a crowd of enemies. Doesn't do a lot of damage though. So this is probably going to be your best ranged option, but it's really only going to be decent at setup. Because as you can see, even on these full... Oh. Alright. Maybe I stand corrected. The damage on this actually feels pretty good. Maybe they improved that in the patch. Light, heavy. This is his grab. 2, 3, 4. It... 1, 2, 3, 4. This grab is pretty bad. Most grabs in Power Wars 4, to be honest, are pretty bad. They just miss most armored targets for whatever reason. Unless you're like right up in their face, locked onto them like you're playing Robin. And even then it'll miss sometimes. I hate it. I hate the grab so much. You're better off. If you're going 2, 3, 4, 5, this is a decent little dash attack. Good for establishing crowd control at point blank. 5, 6. Does what I can only describe as Sabo's aerial C5, but it's on the ground. 6. Again, I'll just do that. It's got some solid range and some solid knockback. The damage is nothing to write home about, but it's a great move for setup. Especially if you have Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath sets up really nicely into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like a miniaturized version of Breath. 5, 7. Now, it's not too good for getting damage or even really a lot of knockback, but it's good setup for combos as long as you don't get hit out of it. So this will be it. All of your later strings in your combo strings with Sabo, you'll really want to try to save them for when you're in your Logia state, because that's when you'll be able to land them all successfully. 4, 5, 6, 7. See, like you get the most damage potential when you're in your form burst. Now let's go into your airs. Your air moveset is going to be your most essential part of this. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like a mini Fire Fist. Comes out at a pretty low angle. Alright, now your light. Heavy is this vertical flame pillar that doesn't do a lot of damage, but is very strong for chipping away at armor bars, dash canceling, and spamming it. Really like that, honestly. I like that for juggling single targets. Light, heavy is your Firefly Burst. Also very good for spamming, to be honest. It also grounds targets, which makes it even more effective as an aerial combo string. Now, light, heavy is a meteor, and it's a pretty slow meteor. Slow even. 3, that if you cancel out of it at the right time, it'll actually prolong your aerial potential by elevating you higher. Otherwise, it just sends you to the ground, does minimal damage, minimal knockback. Not too good. Especially when you have the same move on your on your heavy by itself in the air. Heavy by itself in the air is just faster and therefore more effective at diving you to the ground. And even then, the speed is not enough sometimes, especially when dealing with Frankie family shenanigans. Light. 1, 2, 3, 4 is a bit of a burst damage option, but you want to make sure that your target is within range, because it does kind of have a limited range. 2, 3, 4. Does a little bit of knockback, but it's best against armor broken targets, and it'll definitely secure you a kill, or at the very least set them up for a Dragon Slash or an aerial Dragon King. Your aerial specials, by the way, are really going to be your kill moves. Your Dragon Slash, your Dragon King in the air, those are going to be how you get kills with Sabo. Maybe Dragon Breath as well. But the problem with Dragon Breath is that you really only want to save it for kind of like a get-out-of-jail-free situation. Also, your launcher, as with all characters, is just really effective too, so you want to make sure you use that launcher as well. But yeah, there's a kill on Whitebeard. You know what I mean? Like, Dragon Slash is just an incredible option to have as your special. Now I'm going to start mixing up my air game. Now what's also good about King, by the way, Dragon King is going to let you dash out of it into more aerial combos. Not a lot of ults will let you do this. Alright. So now that we've gotten through the tutorial portion, let's do a proper speed run. Show off what our boy can do. I've noticed that with Sabo, I tend to average at about the 7-minute mark at 4,500 kills. This is extremely mid, and honestly for Sabo, extremely mid is pretty ideal. It's a good place to be in. But I'm not going to do a speedrun on Sabo OD. I just don't like this map at all. Not good for speedrunning. Alright. Man, just casually enjoying the Pirate Warriors 3 soundtrack. Alright, Canada, let's run the numbers here. Ugh, yep, I should have seen that coming. I think this misses. Nope, never mind. We're in a good spot here. See you later, Kato. See, now this is what's good about Sabo is his burst potential. His burst potential, especially in the air, is very, very decent. And as a speed type, you can definitely take advantage of that in a lot of good ways. I think this kills him, right? Or did he burst? Nice! Let's go. Yep. Yeah, Dragon Breath is extremely powerful. I think you also have to watch your angle when you're using Sabo's C4. Because if it doesn't hit just right, then I think the projectile doesn't do as much damage as it could. Okay, that should kill her. Nice. Yep. Not a good setup. Also, another point to bring up too with this is that using your meteor into your ground specials is just gonna make you that much faster, and in some instances it'll be the difference between having someone burst on you versus not at all. That's also another thing that's really good about his aerial C2 is that the flame pillar that he makes will actually ground anyone that it hits within point blank range. I gotta remember too, it's also important to spam his ult as much as possible to get that kill count up nice and high. Oh, look at that. You'll love to see it. That's not going to do as much damage as I wanted. It was a little premature there. Good shit. Let's go. Oh man, what's going on behind me right now? Let's go kill Whitebeard. He's probably low by now. He is barely even been touched. Very nice. Let's take some damage then. Yep, nice. More damage, please. Come on. I know you can do better than this. Oh no, don't knock him out of my way. Damn it, Marco. You're secretly helping him. I should have known. This might kill him, but I did pick up a health one by mistake, so... Oh, did he dodge? No, he did not. Let's go. Alright. Oh, interesting. So his C7 on the ground, actually pretty good for comboing into breath. Nice. Since the knockback on it isn't as strong as a C8, it might actually be better to set up with that one than his C8. Interesting. Where is the transport commander? Let's close this off. Oh wait. Let's go. Almost missed him completely. Well, that's about as good as you're probably gonna get from Sabo. Just gotta remember to use Dragon King more often than I did there. You'll probably have better results. As long as you're careful about how much time you spend in the air too. You don't want to spend too much time in the air because then you sacrifice kill count, like I just did. Didn't even get 4,000 kills. That's embarrassing. Although the clear time was also much shorter than my average. So, that's kind of what to expect from Sabo. More of the same problems that you run into with like Sanji. Low kill counts, very high burst damage. And expect another revolutionary guide incoming. Till the next time, when we get our hee-haws ready.